Yeah, we'll just get it. Oh, we're going. All right. Yeah. Well, hello, guys. So I don't know what we're going to talk about. I guess what we've got lap one. We've got lots of Bottas memes, probably. We've got the podium celebration, which I think was pretty cool. I think that was amazing how excited the Mexican fans were. So that was pretty cool. And then obviously we'll rate drivers, which I think will probably take up a bit of time because, mate, like someone like Kimi Raikkonen got like seventh or something, and
Yeah, that was
Vettel
like-
got like seventh. Like, where'd you come from? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So lap one, what do you guys think?
Interesting. It was a pretty interesting lap, I guess.
It was very interesting, Bottas's line. Like, he would have seen Verstappen in the mirror, but maybe it was too late for him to react when he saw him go onto the outside. But his braking was odd. I think it was so that he wouldn't. I think so. He wouldn't challenge Hamilton, but I thought like maybe you just go a little bit deeper.
That's true. Yeah, it kind of like, at least from like the bird's eye, kind of seemed that Hamilton and he like brake similarly, like
Yeah,
very very close, I guess. So
it's like they braked and Verstappen said 1, 2. I'll hit the brake now. Literally, it's just like
yeah, that's true.
To be honest, if Bottas didn't spin out in the fourth lap, I think he had a very good chance to win the race, unless Mercedes did their things.
Interesting. Okay.
Because the Mercedes are really strong in front of everybody in clean air, and because Bottas was in front of Hamilton, I think he had a good chance to actually pull away.
Very
But
fair point.
He got spun around on like T3 or something. So
very fair point. They are the car from historically is better suited in clean air. However, there's not a lot of air.
well, yes, fair enough.
And I think the Red Bulls were in a different league today. Oh my goodness, Verstappen had like a 20 plus second gap to Hamilton. That's insane.
Faster.
Yeah.
That's 16 seconds.
But
sorry,
is that more of a car thing, or is that just more of a Verstappen thing? Like, I don't know.
Well, I think it's a car thing because Checo Perez was catching Hamilton. He was like 8 seconds behind when he pitted. Mind you, he went an eternity before he pitted, like classic Checo things. But then he pitted and caught him. It was like, okay, let me try to get past. And Hamilton just managed to defend him quite well.
But I don't know if Mercedes was in clean air, if one of the Mercedes was in fourth place in clean air, I think they would have been able to fight it for a bit longer.
That's an interest. Yeah, well, that is an interesting point because Hamilton would have been in clean air when he was defending from Perez. So
yeah,
perhaps you are correct, mate.
Yeah, I tend to agree though. Like if you think about all the instances where it was Hamilton and Perez together, as soon as Hamilton got into clean air, he started kind of pulling away from Perez. Like it wasn't, if I remember correctly, it wasn't. Well, not necessarily pulling away, but
what part of the race? Like the earlier part, or the later part?
Well, even like later on into the race. If I remember correctly, there was a point where essentially every time they approach the back marker, the gap becomes smaller. As soon as the back marker is gone and there's clean air, the gap becomes bigger.
Yeah, but that kind of makes sense. But it didn't become massively bigger, right?
Yeah.
I think it increased quite a bit, honestly.
Okay,
in certain cases.
Well, I might have not. I didn't look, to be honest. I zoomed through it like just now, just to make sure. So I didn't watch it this morning. But yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe the car would have been better in clean air. Well, if Hamilton just took the lead or Bottas took the lead, perhaps the race would have been different because it was very difficult to overtake. Like, mate, Bottas couldn't get past Ricciardo.
That's true.
Yeah, I was stuck there for a long time.
I mean, like, but like also, oh my gosh, that was rough. Poor guy.
Can you imagine the fear that has to go through your head to know that this guy spun you out? And
yeah, this guy is the reason you're at the back, more or less, because he screwed up. He don't get a penalty, which I don't know, mate. I don't know if you should have got a penalty anyway. And then you got to stay behind the whole race until he pits, and then and then you build a bit of a gap because you're faster. You're about to overtake him if you get a good pit stop, and you get a 12-second pit stop. And then you get pitted again, and then again to try and take fastest lap. Oh, geez, that's not an ideal day. But anyway, the
Nice.
cool thing is, if you're a Mercedes fan, you've got a few days before Brazil, which will probably be a Verstappen show again. But anyway,
Oh yeah, there's something about like a commentator's curse coming around. I think.
yeah, probably. But anyway,
However,
Yeah.
what Bottas did, what Mercedes did with Bottas actually saved them one extra point because
with the fastest lap.
Yes,
Yeah, of
because
course.
Mercedes is 1 point behind Red Bull right now,
Ahead.
just ahead. Red Bull.
Ahead. Yeah,
Ahead
they're
Red Bull.
1 point ahead.
Yes, you're right. They're 1 point ahead. So if there was, if Verstappen got that extra point, that would be exactly the same.
It'd be level.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
mean, things are still gonna change by the end, but they're incredibly close. So
It's so good. It's so good. Honestly, like, I don't care who wins the driver's title or the constructor's title. I just want it to go to Abu Dhabi. Like, I just like, please, like, just keep it even, and then maybe like 2 or 3 points in it, or like
think-
max. Like, what's the maximum between? Just 7 points difference between winning and second place. There is.
Mm.
Keep it between 7 points, so that way whoever wins Abu Dhabi probably wins the
Yeah.
title.
I think
Like,
okay.
I think according, I forget the let me find these statistics.
I will get up at like
Get
whenever that race is, like 3 a.m. and watch it, and have a terrible day at work, but I'll watch it.
You're already awake at 3 a.m. dude.
Yes. Yes, I know. It's difficult. Anyway, moving on. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about with the first lap? I mean, actually, I do. Ocon. Poor Esteban Ocon got sandwiched, mate. He got sandwiched between Mick Schumacher's Haas and Yuki Tsunoda's AlphaTauri. And like
Yeah.
the AlphaTauri went boom, and the Haas went boom, and it was like, what do I do? And then I don't know where Ocon finished. I think he finished like where did he finish? 13th. Okay, not ideal.
Still
Got left
finished
once.
compared to others. Well,
Yeah,
Tsunoda, for example.
not ideal. Not ideal, but hey, it is what it is. What can you do? Poor guy. But apart from that, yeah, Schumacher was out and Tsunoda was out. I don't know. Tsunoda I felt like his weekend was a bit of a throwaway. Like, I don't know how he did in practice. I didn't watch practice, but he just towed Gasly in qualifying because he had a penalty, and then just taken out like on lap 1.
Yeah.
and then he got shat on for like the whole weekend as well by
Yeah, pretty much.
by the people that essentially employ him, like, which is great.
Andrea, did you hear this?
I heard something about it. I don't know exactly what went on.
So in qualifying in Q3 final run, Tsunoda moved
Yeah,
out
it
of
was
the way.
okay. So I know that he was out, and somehow he got the blame for Perez.
Yeah, I'm about to
making
explain.
a mistake.
Yeah,
Okay.
all good. So what happened was he should have moved offline or out of the way so the cars could go through and complete the lap. But I don't know if this was him or engineer or something, or maybe he made a mistake. But he went literally sector 2, the turns, like the chicanes. Are they chicanes? Kind of.
Not really, but-
He literally went like off the track and like kicked up a massive amount of dust because there's no cars there. And then Checo Perez saw it, was like, shit, and just drove off. And then Verstappen had to slow down. It was like, bro, you were supposed to get out of the way, and then you did all this. We'll have to
Yeah,
look that up.
Honest,
Like, he didn't have, like, I guess if they had told him earlier on that there were essentially 3 cars coming along, like, by the time he came to that chicane, where the hell was he supposed to go except the runoff?
Just keep going and then pull off to the side.
But the thing is, like, Checo was coming so fast that if he would have already been like midway through that, but if he had just gone through it.
I agree, but I
It's
don't
one
know.
of those instances where, like,
Checo, Perez and Verstappen got Tsunoda. Helmut Marko. I was a Christian Horner that said that.
They're both.
It's just,
um,
it's so cheeky.
it's one of those things where like Red Bull gets Red Bull and is like they love to shit stir, but like it's a bit much when you're shitting on your own drivers. Like, it's
Yeah, it's not really great, But
especially a driver that seems to have had like a fairly shit season so far. You're like, oh, let me
he started really good, but then
yeah. Let
yeah,
me
well,
just,
he had amazing Bahrain, and then just
yeah.
poor guy. But he's a rookie, mate. He's a rookie. Relax. What else did
Everything's
I?
gonna be fine.
Yeah, everything's gonna be fine. Well, apart from that, I think there was. So I've written down on lap 14, Stroll and Latifi battled each other for a couple of turns, and that was about it. Canada or whatever it is. Yeah, and then Lewis said like his tires were gone on lap 14, and they actually were like for the first time. He's like, my tires are crap. I need to box, or he didn't box then, but like he didn't have the pace. It was like, what? The Hamilton's telling the truth. When does this happen? That's bananas. I don't know, mate. There wasn't much that went on, unfortunately. Like it was cool with the Mexican crowd. Like when Checo Perez took the lead and the fans were cheering in the stadium, that was pretty cool. Like what an atmosphere. But
Yeah.
Verstappen still won.
Yeah, it wasn't a great race.
But Verstappen just like on another level. Like he's just fantastic. He reminds me of like Hamilton like last year and the year before, just like boom, 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 just beat everyone by a country mile. Just fantastic. Just like 16 seconds in the lead. Like
Yeah, it's funny though, but
Fantastic.
considering how many laps he's led this year, like the points don't
yeah, like it's just insane.
he's like led
it's-
the vast majority of the laps this year, and his points don't show that to be the case.
No, definitely not. Especially with the DNFs he's had, but just fantastic, really good. Well done to probably the 2021 World Drivers' Championship. We'll see, but you never know.
And
the
this is where
last thing, I
everything went
guess.
downhill.
Sorry, we'll say that.
Antonio
The
was
comment, the chat curse. No, I don't mind. The last thing I want to talk about is the podium. I love the podium in Mexico. I hope I hope the cars next year are good because that way they can follow each other and better and probably have some better racing. And a car like Valtteri Bottas's Mercedes might actually pass a less superior car like Daniel Ricciardo's McLaren. But wow, that was a cool podium. And the car came up again as well. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like in 2019. That's fantastic. Yes, it's so good.
It's probably one of the best podiums I think on the.
Oh my
calendar.
gosh, yeah. And then they have like a concert after. Like they had Kygo, I think it was.
Yeah, Kygo.
Like have a rave or something, like good vibes or whatever you guys like, whatever you guys like to say. Good atmosphere. Yeah, that was awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, it's
like,
really good.
That promotes the sport. That makes it so much better, I reckon. Like when you incorporate all this stuff into it, it's just 2 thumbs up.
Right.
Anything else, gentlemen?
I would like to. I don't know if you guys saw, but essentially, Verstappen's little strategy play, I guess, with Bottas's fastest lap. So
No, didn't say it.
it was like essentially Bottas unlapped himself by overtaking Verstappen,
Okay.
and essentially, at least from this is the first time I learned about this, but apparently you have to be within like 1.7 seconds of the car in front to get like a blue flag or whatever.
Okay.
So what Verstappen did was, even though Bottas overtook him, he just closed the gap up so that Bottas got another
Got a blue flag. Oh wow!
So, and then just overtook him again.
That would have been really good. I missed that all. So I skipped the end of the race. I didn't expect
And
there.
that's when Mercedes brought him back in for the second pit stop.
So that's why they brought him in for the second set.
Yeah,
the additional set.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then they just left him they held him in the pit lane to ensure that he gets clean air. So
yeah.
Wow, poor guy, man. Just like, oh my gosh.
That's the first time that I've seen like a team hold their driver up after
intentionally.
Just
don't move.
We need this point.
Wow, we need it, bro. This is what you're being paid for. Oh my gosh, poor guy. Oh, what can you do? Anything else you guys want to talk about before we do our thingamajiggies? What was it? Our rankings?
Thingamajiggies, okay. I don't think there's much else to say, really.
Yeah. No, there is.
Oh, I saw that the gap between the Aston Martins was crazy. Vettel was
Vettel was great. He finished 7th. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
think that was a pretty good. That was based on like a pretty good strategy call, though. Like, I think
I didn't see it, mate. Talk about it.
I forget what his strategy is, but as far as I remember,
Okay.
the reason he ended up there was like a lot of factors, but one of the reasons was because I believe because Giovinazzi was kind of close to him at that point, if I remember correctly.
Near the beginning, yeah, Giovinazzi got a good start and then just. Oh yes, I remember. Yeah. Giovinazzi was pitted really early,
Yeah.
and Vettel went long, and Giovinazzi got stuck, and Vettel just took it.
Yeah, and also they messed up Stroll's pit stop. That being said, there were a lot of like steaming or like burning brakes this time. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Yeah, I noticed Bottas's
Yeah,
when he
not
pitted
bad.
for the first time.
Yeah. They were straight up on fire, which is interesting. I don't think we've seen that much.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to say, Tony, you called it. Ferraris were way better than McLaren's, but by a lot.
Yeah.
Ferrari finished 5th and 6th, and McLaren's are 10th and 12th.
Yeah,
So-
I kind of expected it, to be fair. But yeah, I just think like with the requirements of that track where it's a more higher downforce, less optimized for power. Mind you still need a significant amount of power for that straight, I guess. But I just felt like the Ferraris would do better based on what we've seen, and it turned out they did.
Fair enough.
Guess it is what it is, but what can you do? All right, should we do the ranking?
I guess.
All right, guys. We'll start with Mercedes and Hamilton out of 10. What do you think?
He did pretty well. I want to give like he did everything. I guess
Started
could
second,
do.
finished second, held off a faster car behind him.
Yeah. I want to give him a 9. I would say a 9.
A 9. Whoa.
Oh
Maybe
wait,
an
do we-
8.
I forget. Oh,
Yeah,
no, we don't
I'd
have
probably
half
give him
marks.
an 8.
I'm forgetting. We don't have half marks. Okay, let's go with 8.
Jesus, mate,
Temporary memory.
Jesus. I was about to flip. All right.
I think we're gonna have to pause for one moment. Sorry.
Well, he did do well in qualifying too. But
Yeah.
it is
I'm gonna
what
pause
it
the
is.
recording for one moment, and we'll be back.
Well, just pause it.
We're back.
Oh, we'll record. That's it. Just it's me.
All right, voting. Vote.
Yeah, all right. That's going to be so weird when we watch that back. All right,
100%.
Hamilton's an 8. Valtteri Bottas. Poor guy. Great qualifying, so that's really good. Turn around. Do you think it was more his fault or not really his fault that he
I
got
don't think
turned around?
I don't think he really did anything wrong in that case. Like, because the thing is, like, Hamilton got a good start, right? So he couldn't go where Hamilton was, right?
Yeah. It looked like
So-
he... Go on.
And then, like, Verstappen had a decent start. Well, Verstappen had a decent start, but he also had a very good toe.
Yeah,
So-
extremely good toe.
So the thing is, like, he really, like, yeah, he couldn't theoretically close the door on Verstappen, but if he did, I don't know, it could have been Verstappen and Bottas coming together instead of Bottas and Ricardo. In my
Yeah,
opinion,
Fair point. Yeah, but from my perspective, so kind of not ignoring everything you said, but kind of. When Bottas braked, it looked like he made a really sharp right turn to like kind of like the switchback.
Mhm.
Not that it would have worked because Verstappen was a kilometer ahead, but anyway.
Yeah.
And that's what punted him into Ricardo, but Ricardo should have braked a bit earlier.
I don't know.
probably.
I don't think we should mark him just on the first few turns.
Absolutely.
I think he did pretty bad towards the end, as he just couldn't catch. Really, it was just
true.
there. He gained a few positions and then he lost them, and he was always there. Even if he was within a second from the car in front, he wasn't really able to overtake or anything.
Yeah.
No,
so.
he was. So he wasn't able to get past Ricardo, which, probably the 4th best car of this race, and he's probably in the 2nd best car. I think that's less of a fact of his skill, but more of a fact of the general aerodynamics and the air quality that's around Mexico, being a high altitude circuit, difficult, especially on cooling.
Well, but
But he should have made a lunge, probably. Do you think? No, I'm not a
Uh,
racing driver, so I don't know. But
Honestly, I think that because there is less atmospheric pressure, the aerodynamics doesn't count as much.
oh,
So
for
being
sure,
in
yeah,
a
makes
car, being behind doesn't give you such a penalty as other
yeah, it doesn't give you
tracks.
as much of a slipstream because it's already thin.
No,
Air's
not
already
just the
thin.
slipstream, but also the reduced downforce in turns.
Yeah,
corners.
yeah, for
So
sure.
I
Yeah,
think
absolutely.
I think with a lower pressure, it's actually better to overtake, better to be behind the car than in a higher pressure environment.
No, I disagree. It's better to be in a
Why?
higher pressure because that way there's more of a hole punched from the car in front to the car behind, right? So, like the car behind, if the car's going this way,
Yes.
if the car behind has less air, so there's more of a slipstream.
But you don't
And-
lose as much downforce.
Yeah,
So
but
Okay,
in
alright,
corners
in-
and stuff.
Apologies, I should have made myself clear. In terms of a straight line,
Oh yes, 100%.
significantly better with more air pressure,
Mhm.
especially if you're following, and that way you can also there's also enough air to cool the car.
Okay.
In regards to corners, no. So yeah,
It's
I can
better,
definitely see it would
yeah.
have been harder to overtake, but
yeah, it's also one of those tracks. Jeez, it's one of those tracks where there isn't really a lot of overtaking opportunity generally. Anyway, because like even if you think about like the races last year, like in the years past, not last year, but those chicanes barely ever were very
Yeah.
good passing spots. Like
yeah,
those
agreed.
always ended up like, remember for lap 1 or like 2019 or something, it was like utter carnage. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, just everyone knows you got to get in the lead,
yeah,
and then
like,
sector 2 is difficult. You can't overtake in sector 2.
yeah, so like
And
unless you,
sector 3 is impossible pretty much unless you Kvyat and bump Hulkenberg in the wall in 2019. If you guys remember that little,
Yeah.
so
unless
all your
you're pretty
Verstappen and
much-
go down the inside on Bottas, just like I don't care. Boom, see you later.
I'm not gonna
Um,
lie, that very much seemed like one of those, like, you know, like in F1 games you have those like online players who just like cut the
It's
corner
just,
completely.
I don't
like,
care. You're
I'm like,
moving out of my way.
as soon as I saw that, I was like,
And then if you go off and you rejoin, you get a penalty.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we need to grade him. Fellas,
Or
I
a
don't know.
6 or a 7.
think a
Yeah, I
7
don't.
is
But he did a great qualifying.
is it though?
Not his
Do we want
fault,
to say great,
but
considering like Mercedes, like it was a Mercedes 1-2, right? If it was Bottas and then Verstappen, you could say that he did it like, because that means that, because if Hamilton is qualifying say third, right, that means that car necessarily wasn't the fastest car that day. Theoretically, right?
okay, but he
But he still beat his own teammate.
He beat
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
he beat
true,
his
yeah.
teammate in qualifying.
Yeah, I'm happy with the 7. I think it's fair. Like,
I can't. Someone who
Really?
finishes 15th, even though it's pretty much not their fault, I can't give them a 7 unless
Yeah.
they're in a Haas. Oh,
that is true.
Okay, well, okay.
The guy
What
got
are you?
stopped as like what,
Like-
2 times in as many laps. Like,
yeah, I know, and it's not his fault, but it's like, oh my gosh, you can't rate him
What
good
are you
because he had a
thinking?
terrible
What are you
team
thinking?
sport. He had a terrible race. His team did crap. I
Yeah.
think it's a maximum a 6.
yeah,
Okay, I'm happy with that.
I can do it. I can do a 6.
Ideally a 3, but Matt, joke.
6.5.
All right, a 6 it is. So Hamilton 8, Bottas 6. Oh, anyway, Verstappen 10.
Yeah.
Best,
Oh,
the best
no.
he could do.
Can you say
I mean,
he didn't
it's
have?
just
I
in
could have. All
front
right, he
most
could have
of the
optimized
race.
the car to get pole for qualifying.
But what did we did? Remember what we said, right? 10 meant that you qualified on pole, finished first, and had fastest lap.
Sorry, sir, it's a 9.
Yeah. I think a 9's fair.
Yeah,
I don't know if you could give it a 10.
Nah.
I mean, he was in a very fast car, so he didn't really do much, I guess. He did really good, but he
Yeah,
was
right,
in a
fair enough.
faster car as well.
Yeah, like the
Red
fact
Bull
that
didn't help them.
he had like some, like, I guess maybe he didn't find it as too much of a difficult race though, because it seemed like he had so much extra capacity. Like he was like talking about stuff like his like like, no, look at the like little part of that tire that's like off camber. Is mine the same as like other people's? Like,
I remember
Like,
hearing that. Yeah.
who the hell's
Oh,
thinking about
the
that?
TV screen, one of the pixels is out.
Maybe they should fix that.
Yeah, that should be fixed for next time. Yeah.
Uh,
I feel like the stadium, it's a little like it's not level. They should have leveled it up. Yeah, all right. A 9 for Verstappen. Checo gets an 11 because, no. Qualified 4th, finished 3rd because Bottas was punted. Pretty much expect, I think it's probably a 7. Yeah, no, higher, lower.
I don't know. Is it?
Mr. Nizzola has disappeared.
Pause for a minute.
Maybe stop the room.
We're back. There we go.
Oh, we're back. So, that's the second time. So, hopefully, it can it's probably
we
going to
can
be like,
finish
and we're back. All right. Checo Perez. I think we said 7, actually, didn't we?
Yeah.
Something
Mr.
like that.
Nizzola?
Yeah, I think that's
Norris.
fair.
That was quick. Just bump.
All right. He beat his teammate.
started
he
near the
was in the
back.
points.
Yeah, started near the back, finished 10th, got a point. McLaren probably weren't that great to. Oh, no. Oh, no. We just.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah,
All
whatever
right,
happens
we're
again,
back
happens again. Right? Oh, my gosh. This is a nightmare. Norris. Jeez.
Norris.
I don't know. Finished 10th. Started near the back. Got some good points. Probably a. Do you think he should have done better? Probably 7, 6,
I don't know. Yeah.
6.
6, I
He
think.
beat his teammate as well.
Yeah, but Ricardo was a
Within the
banana
points.
and spun Bottas, and also had to pit early, had to pit twice. So Ricardo gets a 3 from me.
Oof.
A 3 for his number.
3.
Yeah, a 3 for his number.
Come on. Maybe a
No
4
way,
or
man! A
5.
massive mistake, bro. He took out the pole sitter.
It's Bottas. No, jokes apart.
Oh, you're gonna trigger some people.
100%, that's why I
They're right
said
next
that.
to me. But anyway,
No, jokes apart. Like, yeah, he did a mistake, but he kind of recovered towards the end as well. He
it's
tried.
because the air's so thin, no one can overtake, and then he had to pit.
Yeah. I
And the
don't know.
only reason
Maybe.
Bottas wasn't ahead was because he had a 12-second pit stop, and then I had to know 2 more.
Fair enough, but I think a 4
Yeah, I
is
win.
just too much. No. At least a 4. Hasi,
All
what
right,
do you think?
I'll give him Norris's number. That's fine.
Yeah. I can.
Oh my God.
It's back.
It's
Turn
way
your
too
game
loud.
down.
I'm not doing anything.
That's good. That's good.
That's good. Stay
I'm
back.
barely
Stay
talking.
back.
I'm literally whispering at this point.
Good.
Keep
That's
whispering.
perfect.
It's work. Oh my! If anyone actually ever watches this, or we watch it back one day, we're gonna be so confused. What are these guys on?
100%.
All right. So Norris 6, Ricardo 4, but he took out the pole sitter. Like, fine.
Hasi,
4.
what do you think? No, hold up. Hasi, what both for the
Go,
card?
mate.
I
You
wanna-
decide.
I want to say, what are your scores again?
I'm a 3.
3 and 4 ish.
I think a 4 is
Uh,
my score.
Fine. I'm leaving. Leclerc.
Leclerc. He was doing
Did you have a
fairly
decent
well.
race?
He was actually in front of Sainz until they actually. Oh shit! Until the swap. So
Till what?
until the swap places, he was in front of Sainz.
Oh, did they swap? I didn't realize they swapped.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So I
No,
mean,
they both-
he was doing pretty well.
They both did pretty good. I'd give them both like a 6 each. Oh,
More than a 6.
all right, all right. I apologize, Mr. Italian.
7.5.
Yeah.
6.5, 7, and I'm not rounding up. I'm rounding down. 7 and 7 for Leclerc and Sainz. Yeah.
I see you agree.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Oh, stop! You speak too loud. The game is ridiculous. I don't know. It's just weird when you just
move
move
back
and it's just
1 meter.
it's like
Yeah, just move back. Just move back 1 meter.
when you watch this back after we end the recording and after we go through all the clips, you'll see. It's weird.
All right. Gasly,
Alpine.
next. Oh, okay.
Alonso.
Alpine.
Where did Alonso start? He
I have
finished.
no idea what he
Oh, he
finished.
finished 9th. He got some points. That's pretty decent, right? I don't think the Alpine was in points range, like at all. And he started, one moment, Alonso started 12th. So finished ninth, started 12th. Not bad.
But
6?
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, he also beat his teammate, so he was doing pretty good in that car.
I think a 5 for Ocon. Unfortunately, just had a bad luck. And then just went down from there. So
Honestly,
6 and
agree with
5, easy. All right, Gasly, like 9, like just
8.
legend. Like get him in a Red Bull. But anyway, yeah, I think he did really well. Like maximized everything the best he could do. I think it's probably the same. Either it's an 8 or a 9. Your guys' call.
Yeah,
I think an
I would
8.
go for an 8.
I think an 8. Yeah.
Gasly haters over here. Okay. No, all right.
Gasly haters. But
Yeah, Gasly haters. No, I'll give him
that's
an 8.
not a thing.
No, I don't think it is.
I don't think anyone
I just,
hates Gasly.
I just made it up.
I know.
Yeah, anyway. Sorry. I'm getting a little aggressive now. Can you tell I'm hungry? Sonoda.
Yeah, like a 2.5.
There's no halves, bro. I know you're doing it on
Around
purpose.
down,
Come on.
He
He just had a terrible weekend. I mean, he had penalties to take, right? No fault of his own, more or less. That kind of team's fault, I guess. Yeah, just had a bad weekend overall. He did show some. Apparently, I don't know. So whatever. He did show some pace in free practice. So whatever that counts for.
Yeah, he was
okay.
right behind Gasly. So in free practice. So.
And then he got taken out lap 1.
Yeah, I honestly
A
2 or
5?
3.
No,
5 for what?
But we can't because he had penalties.
No,
He made it to Q3. I guess, albeit on the soft tyre, so could just tow Gasly, but he made it to Q3
that is true.
out of 4.
Yeah. Oh.
4, okay. I can accept the 4.
Yeah.
4 it is. 4.
I think like a 3 would be a bit harsh.
Vettel
Okay.
gets like a 12. No, I'm joking. Vettel
Yeah,
did well.
he did.
He started. Where did he start? He started 9th, and he finished like 7th.
Finished 7th.
Yeah,
Bottas
decent
was
race.
One
Well
place
done.
that he recovered. And
Good strategy. Beat Giovinazzi good strategy against him. Yeah, I think that's like a 7.
Yeah.
Stroll crashed qualifying. Poor guy. Terrible race. Like a 2 or a 3.
yeah, a 3 maybe.
See, Ricciardo should have got a 3 as well, and Stroll should have got a 3. I think both of them had bad races.
3.5.
No, please stop.
No, a 3. I think that a 3 is more than.
I
more
think,
than fair.
yeah, I think a 3 is a bit generous. Russell made it to Q2.
He did very good in quali, like he usually does. Well, fairly. good in
Saturday.
quali.
Yeah, he started 13th. He qualified 13th. Started somewhere near the back, I think. No, apologies. He didn't have a penalty. Where did he start? He started 16th. Yeah, he did have a penalty. And then finished, I think, 15th or 14th. Yeah, he started 16th, finished 16th. Yeah, ahead of his teammate, ahead of the Haas's. It's kind of what we expect, right?
Yeah.
1 second. See, this is what you guys could have talked while I was doing stuff, like talked about George Russell instead of me just doing it.
Well, there isn't much to say about George Russell. Like,
So what are we giving
he
him?
Started 16, like 4, like average. 5 maybe.
Average is 5.
Well, listen, you're not counting 10.
He beat
so
his
it's
teammate.
4.5.
Hey, look, 6 for Russell, 5 for Latifi. Done. Raikkonen gets an
Okay.
8 because why not? No, he gets a 7 because he did great. Giovinazzi had potential. He gets a 4. Yeah,
I hold up. Where did Giovinazzi finish?
that was quick. Sorry.
Yeah, that was very quick. Okay, Giovinazzi 11th,
Just like
Raikkonen 8.
I finished 11th. Okay, I'll give Giovinazzi a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty low down the order.
Yeah, he was like 6th after lap 1, but then had a bad stop and got stuck behind.
Hey, he was for the McLarens. which is impressive.
Yeah, just had a good start. Schumacher, I don't know, what did he qualify? I think he qualified all right, actually. Oh, no, this was the qualifying where Mazepin was only a few tenths back.
Yeah,
So-
and the DNF.
And then he DNF'd. 4. Mazepin 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mazepin didn't DNF, so at least one extra point.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't his, was it? Yeah, so what, give Mazepin a 5?
Yeah, yeah.
This is a hard car. But he was at the back.
Some would say that he was being overly ambitious, trying to get that car into a position he didn't deserve.
Yeah, I think so too. He was the only one that was 3 laps behind. So he only did 68 laps instead of 71, but it's the Haas.
Yeah.
All right, you can beat Mick Schumacher this round, whatever. You want to predict what's going to happen in Brazil?
But we got sprint race, so.
That should be good. Verstappen will win that, and Verstappen will win the race. No.
Ah.
I honestly thought Hamilton would have won this race. I really did. I thought it was a do or die. He had to win it. And after qualifying, I was like, yeah, he's absolutely winning it. But it didn't happen.
Thing is, there are so many factors, right? Like ultimately, there's just so many factors outside of their control, right? Like today,
Yeah.
a wing could have cracked again. Like after all the repairs they've done, a wing could have cracked and ended Verstappen's race or something like that. Like
Very true. Very true. I'm not actually sure why that was the case. Why
Yeah.
they were having.
well, they
Yeah,
only
I might look that up. So it sounds interesting. Why the wing might actually crack. But anyway,
Yeah, I think some people are trying to blame it on like poor QA or whatever, but like, I guess that's possible. But like,
really though, like it's carbon fiber reinforced plastic, and like it's designed for like Monaco. Like it's
nah,
designed to be.
but laying carbon is extremely
An
difficult.
art.
Like it's like we did it at uni.
Oh.
and it's so
Yeah,
hard. Like,
okay.
it's so easy to like actually screw it up, and without realizing that you've screwed it up.
Yeah, okay.
And ours was like simple stuff. So like way more complex, like carbon manufacturing. I would assume is much easier to like make.
Screw up.
That being said, it was interesting that they didn't have they had no wings. Like they swapped Perez's wing for Max's wing.
Yeah, I didn't know they did that, but yeah,
Because
that is interesting.
well, Perez crashed, right? Perez crashed and he broke it,
yeah.
and they only brought one spare wing, so they put that on Perez's car. But then Max's car's wing cracked, so they were like, "Well, there you go, Perez. Here's that cracked.
Here's your bad wing.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. Like, why would you give a part that you think?
Yeah, of course. You're going to give it to Verstappen.
100%.
All
Yeah.
right. Screw the predictions. We'll do it in the pre-race.
All right. That
All right.
sounds good.
Let's go.